In the mid-20th century, we believed in progress. We believed in science. And we believed in the promise of a pill that could solve our simplest, most human problems. For millions, that problem was sleeplessness and the debilitating nausea of pregnancy. Enter the supposed miracle, a drug so safe it was deemed impossible to overdose on, a sedative that offered deep, dreamless sleep without the dangerous dependency of barbiturates. Its name was thalidomide. It was a wonder drug, marketed in 46 countries under dozens of brand names. It was a scientific triumph, celebrated by its German creator, Chemie Grünenthal. It was the future of medicine, bottled. But this was the first terrible lie. This was not a triumph of science. It was one of the biggest ethical failures in human history. This drug did not just strip away sleep. It stripped away limbs, damaged organs, and left a generation to pay the ultimate price. This is the story of where innovation met its most gruesome end. Thalidomide was rushed to market in 1957. The testing was shockingly minimal, resting on a single flawed metric: low acute toxicity in adults. If you couldn't kill a rat by stuffing it with pills, the drug was labeled harmless to humans. No one seriously considered the most vulnerable patients, the unborn. When it was found to effectively combat morning sickness, a common complaint for expectant mothers, it became an instant staple in countless medicine cabinets, a silent, deadly passenger carried by mothers who trusted the promise of modern medicine. The tragedy was already brewing, concealed by a calendar. A single dose taken between the 20th and 36th day after conception was enough to permanently cripple an embryo. The window of safety had already closed before many mothers even realized they were at risk. But in the United States, a single reviewer at the FDA, Dr. Frances Kelsey, stood alone against the corporate tsunami. She demanded more tests, sensing an invisible danger that the company denied. Her stubborn refusal to approve the drug for sale in the States saved thousands of American children, a stark monument to the power of scientific skepticism over corporate pressure. Her ethical vigilance proved to be the exception, not the rule. By the early 1960s, doctors in Germany and Australia were seeing what they couldn't explain: a terrifying geometric spike in babies born with Phocomelia, shortened, flipper-like limbs, missing fingers, and severe internal damage to the eyes, heart, and digestive system. The children were not just deformed, they were the literal manifestation of a drug's failure. It was Australian obstetrician Dr. William McBride, and later German pediatrician Dr. Widukind Linz, who independently connected the dots: the new, safe sleeping pill and the sudden epidemic of horror. The official records that Chemie Grünenthal preferred to keep silent were staggering. It is estimated that over 10,000 children were born globally with thalidomide syndrome. Up to 40% of affected infants died within a year of birth. Even when the evidence became undeniable, the company fought to protect its sales. They suppressed or ignored reports of nerve damage and delayed the final agonizing withdrawal of the drug. The failure was not just in the lab, it was in the boardroom. The price of profit was a generation defined by profound, preventable disability. The legacy of thalidomide is vast and dark. It forced the medical world to confront its own hubris. It led directly to the rigorous teratogenicity testing and comprehensive safety standards we use today. It permanently changed the way we regulate every single pill we put into our bodies. Yet, its story is not simple. The drug of tragedy had a final twist. Under the strictest controls, thalidomide has been successfully repurposed to treat devastating diseases like leprosy and a form of cancer known as multiple myeloma. The drug that created life's cruelest irony is now saving lives. But we must never forget the cost. The thalidomide tragedy is the ultimate caution tape around innovation. It's the constant reminder that a technological failure is often an ethical failure first. It teaches us that science, without intense scrutiny, driven by greed and hubris, can become an engine for suffering. The future it promised was safety. The future it delivered was agony. If you are interested in the dark lessons of history and the crucial warnings that remain relevant to innovation today, subscribe to the Failed Futures.